Once there was this kid who got into an accident and couldn't get to school. But when he finally came back, Bethany and Sean, we are a couple of nuts talking. They found birthmarks all over his body. He couldn't quite explain them. They'd always just been there. That is crazy. I had that on a
That was
cassette.
off memory.
I had that. You didn't sing one coherent word. I did, though.
Because you were reading them.
No,
You don't have them?
No.
Oh,
Honey,
well,
I had that song on cassette single. I never bought the full album.
Was
My
that
brother
Crash
did.
Test Dummy?
Crash Test Dummies.
Yeah.
And that fucking song is weird as fuck.
Weird as fuck.
And I loved it.
The birthmark. Yeah, no, I remember liking it.
I loved it.
I don't think I didn't buy anything for it.
I bought the cassette single for like $2.99 at Sam Goody in the mall. Maybe even $1.99, but man, did I love that song. That's a weird ass song. I don't even know how that fucking song got put out there.
Yeah.
But it did.
Isn't it weird? Like, I feel because there wasn't a saturation back then. You know, it was before the internet. I mean, the internet was there, but not the way it was now. Like, it was before Napster and shit.
Yeah.
So it was like, there weren't that many people doing that.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely nobody doing what the Crash Test Dummies were doing.
Absolutely not.
The Crash Test Dummies. Oh, speaking of Crash Test Dummies, there was a cartoon. They made action figures of Crash Test Dummies.
What? Oh, yeah, with the
I have
that
them.
symbol of like the yellow thingy on
like
it.
the traffic signal, like the four-way cross stop, whatever that is, four-way intersection.
Yeah.
I can't believe they made a fucking cartoon and they kind of like made them heroes in a way. They weren't superheroes by any means. They were goofy characters, but they made them into like something. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved those toys. I loved them.
I didn't have those.
I had them, and they were cars that you would crash.
Yeah, no, I remember that. I never.
How fucking dark is that?
That is. It sounds like the perfect toy for me. I don't.
That is so dark that they were given that. And I loved that.
Yeah. What about those fucking? There were like, I don't remember if they were babies or like. There was those. Oh God.
What, Cabbage Patch Dolls?
Tigamachis or whatever.
Oh, the ones that would die?
They would die.
The Togomachi, that little egg, digital animal you would take care of.
Yeah. And they would die all the time. And
all
you were like,
time.
no, well.
I had one of those too. It was a little dinosaur egg, and it was a little baby dinosaur, and I grew it, and I raised it, and then I kind of forgot about it, and it fucking died.
It dies. I mean, that's pretty gnarly.
That's super dark.
Yeah.
So much darkness. I have dark thoughts in the morning sometimes. I mean, I have dark thoughts all the time, but
me too.
Whenever I hear like a fire engine going by early in the morning, my immediate thought is, oh boy, somebody just woke up next to their dead spouse.
Oh.
That's where my thought goes.
Well, now that's where my head will go. When I hear a fire engine, I just think fire.
Well, it's usually, paramedics, they go hand in hand. Yeah. If it's like 5 a.m. and I hear it going, I'm like, fuck.
Do you know, I can literally remember my last dark thought. It was yesterday while we were driving, and there was a guy who almost was he like wanted to walk in front of us. Do you remember that guy? Where we were like at that big intersection, and he wasn't at the corner. He was almost at the corner, and he was walking into the street. And I was like, is he fucking gonna?
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, I'm just going to fucking hit him.
Yeah.
And I was like, in my head, And then I was like, oh my God, Bethany. Like, I have to reel it back.
Yeah.
I have to be like, and I full on see the whole picture.
You know what this is?
What?
This is a new segment called Dark
as fuck.
Thoughts.
Or bad thoughts.
Let's talk about some dark.
That's our song. Remember what's
bad thoughts. Bad thoughts.
Excuse me.
Let's keep talking about bad dark thoughts for a little little bit.
I always think about driving off cliffs, and of course, I think everyone does that, don't they? Or no?
Swerving. Yeah, I think about that. Like if we're going on long drives on a 2-lane highway. Not that I want to hurt anybody else.
I know,
but I get that that thought, like just a little turn to the left real quick, and then
I've said that to you where I'm like, I'm having an urge where I can just, and whatever.
Yeah, you were doing that in the car the other day. You were like, oh my God, I just crashed us in my mind and we just died. And I was like, baby, that didn't happen. You're like, it's such a bad, I can't believe that just happened. Baby, that didn't happen. And it took you a couple minutes to get over it, actually.
Yeah, because sometimes I play the entire fucking movie in my head instead of just catching it.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for me to catch it. So I that's why when I get up in the morning, what was the last one I had with you that you remember? I was like, oh my God, I woke up and I was like so distraught with us.
I think we talked about it already, though.
No, not that one. That was another one. No, where it's like I hurt you.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe I didn't tell you.
Oh boy. That's scary.
Yeah, no, and I hated it. I was like, oh my God.
You hurt me in a dream or just a thought? Because a dream is one thing. A thought is
no, in a dream. It was. I woke up.
Yeah.
I woke up from it.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I've had the other thoughts too, though. But.
I have thoughts. So I started with dark thoughts at a young age. I talked about it on here before when I was young. I remember being at the top of the Empire State Building and just pushing my head against the glass. Like, oh, what would happen if I fell through this glass? And I remember having those dark thoughts. And then I started having dark thoughts of like, if I'm in a movie theater and I'll be staring at the person in front of me, like at the back of their head. And I was just like, what if I just like had a knife and I just started stabbing the back of their head over and over again?
I have a whole bit on that because I think the opposite. I think they're all going to do it to me.
So that's, I mean,
like
if that was me behind you, that's what I would be thinking about, your head.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think everyone's going to slice my throat.
Right.
When you're thinking, I'm going to slice their throat.
But I don't think maybe a lot of people do have, at full disclosure, guys, would never do that.
He's like kindest, nicest man.
Thanks, baby.
I've ever met.
Thank you. I mean, I can't get angry. But
no, you definitely get angry. But your majority of your soul and heart is just like pure, at least to me, pure love and grace.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But so those are dark thoughts, and it's, the person sitting in front of you, or, it's, why is that? What is with these dark thoughts?
I get thoughts even with my babies, my fur babies.
Oh, God.
Which I never call them fur babies. It's because somebody just asked me if I call them fur babies, so it's in my head. But my fluffins, because they're so fucking cute. It's like sometimes I don't know if I need the cuteness to stop.
Yeah.
So I want to rip their fucking, like I want to squeeze them so hard.
Things, yeah.
Or is it because they're so cute? You know what I mean? I'm not sure. I need the relief from cuteness, so I kill them, or if if it is the cuteness that causes the kill.
What's the psychology behind that? Why would we want to completely annihilate something so precious and adorable?
Because I would lose my mind after and be like, "What did I just do?"
Right.
Like I would.
The thought of our cats dying kills me every time.
I mean, last night we were in bed. And I saw this video of a whale.
Oh yeah, you did.
It's funny to him, not funny to me.
It was so cute. I think I should tell it because we were laying there in bed on our phones per usual, and she's like, "Oh my God, look at this cute video!" And it was a killer whale, and it was and it looked like a baby killer whale, and they were jumping out of the water. So first you see the little one come out, and then you see the big one come out, and it bumped the little one, and she's like, playing. She thought they were playing. She's like, "Look, the mommy and the baby are playing," and I was like, "Oh, babe, no, that's an orca hunting a dolphin for sure." And then we rewatched it, and she started crying because the little dolphin comes out, and then the fucking orca flies out and just hits it.
Yeah,
with its
then
nose.
I looked at like the dolphin's head, and I knew it was a dolphin now, and you just see it get knocked out, like it just fucking.
Oh yeah, because that orca's going so fast underwater. It's like a fucking speeding car.
I can't. I don't want to talk about it. But I lost my shit. I started crying. You thought it was cute and funny, and I'm losing my shit.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is what I often talk about. That's why another reason why I hate social media. It's my love-hate with it. But I don't know what I'm gonna get when I'm scrolling. It's like someone else is in control of what my eyes and brain and soul are gonna see.
Yeah.
And then right before bed, I'm fucking losing my mind because a beautiful, wonderful, sweet dolphin. That's what you remind me of.
A dolphin?
A dolphin.
Oh.
Yeah, I know some dolphins rape, right?
Yes.
I'm just kidding. That part of it.
Wow.
No, I was gonna say that part of it I don't feel like is you.
Okay, good.
But everything else,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, dolphins are cute, huh?
They're so sweet, and you could teach them things, and they do things.
They do have cute little smiles.
Yeah.
Cute little faces.
And then, by the way, I've never experienced a dolphin with rape, but that's just what I've heard. That's why I
heard
wanted
that too.
to.
I heard they rape. There's a lot of animal rape in the animal
but that's
world.
why I wanted to clear it up when I said that you're like a dolphin, except for that part.
Man, I didn't know this, but koala bears, holy shit,
They
they
have
are
herpes.
rapers. They rape. They're rapists.
Yeah, it makes sense because they're going raw dog on people
Holy shit.
who had other. And then
Not people, other koalas.
That's
but
what I meant.
I remember watching this thing on koalas because I love them. They're cute. And the dude.
I don't think they're cute.
Oh, I think they're adorable. And then the dude, like, was climbing up this eucalyptus. The girl was up a eucalyptus tree, and then the fucking guy comes up behind her and just fucking starts clawing her and sticks it in. And he's just like, they make noises like this. The male ones.
Yeah. That's hot.
And then the girl's like, and it's like pushing on her head and her face, and then it's straight up rape.
So basically, every girl koala is zero sex drive. And then if they weren't thrusting themselves on them, would they have other koalas? Because then I feel like, is that just their nature?
It's their nature,
right? So women don't want to have it.
I don't know if the women don't want to have it. I think it's just the carnal.
I guess what I mean
animal
is
brain.
I guess what I mean is like penguins, right? They mate for life.
That's
they love each other, right? What is the koala picture look like?
I mean, maybe it accepts. Maybe we're labeling it as rape, but maybe it's not rape.
Maybe they're thoroughly enjoying it. Look, I have some friends who really like.
It's true.
Some forceful Mother Nature shit.
Yeah.
You know. Throat holds.
I've been asked to choke before, and it's just like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Like, I attempted it, and I was just like, I can't. Like,
see, guys, that's what I meant by he's the dolphin minus the rape stuff.
I can't choke you while I'm loving you. Like, that's just not. But no, see, that's different. That's not the same as I fucking love you so much. It's a different thing.
What are you talking about? Like the cuteness of cats?
Like, yeah, I fucking want to strangle you. You're so cute. That's different.
No. It's so opposite. I feel like I remember. I don't remember the conversation or context or when it was, but I remember having a conversation about where I was like, if anybody fucking went to strangle me in a vulnerable situation like that, I would kick him in the nuts.
That's crazy.
And kick him out of my house.
Yeah.
Because like, that's not how you treat me ever.
That's crazy.
And again, if you are into that stuff, like, fantastic.
Hey, that's fucking dope. And if you found the person that does it for you,
that you feel safe.
You guys are a match made in heaven. But I have heard cutting off the circulation air supply increases the orgasm.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Now, if it's about auto asphyxiation or just
autoerotic asphyxiation.
Right, or just asphyxiation in that sense where it heightens your orgasm.
But it seems like it's different. It's deeper than that with some people.
Oh, yeah. I think they like the act of
being choked out.
Violence. Yeah. Yes. It, and again, I can get into the psychology of it if we wanted to. But
degradation.
Yes. Well, that comes from a lot of like S&M dominatrix kind of submissive feel. It just depends. Like, some traumas trigger those kind of fetishes, and then some are voyeuristic that become a fetish because you see others in that position wanting to know what it feels like.
Well, we'll get to those in our fetish and phobias episode.
Yeah.
Once we do another one of those.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go back to the animal kingdom. Have you ever seen ducks?
No.
Oh, it's awful. If you really want to feel gross and weird, check out ducks mating.
Yeah.
Because there's like 10 dudes trampling the female. They're stepping on her head. They're all trying to get on top of her, and it's
a gangbang.
It's a gang rape. It's the saddest thing. But again, maybe it's not rape because that's the animal kingdom. But it is disturbing. I just saw that recently. I had no idea ducks were that fucking gnarly.
If we took duck and gang and said dang, it's a dang bang.
Yeah, baby.
Quack.
Quack, 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 quack. Howard the duck. Howard the duck.
Getting dang banged.
Dang. I wonder if Howard
you just said dang.
I wonder if Howard the duck banged like that. He didn't. Not in the movie.
He didn't have to. He was famous.
Yeah, he was a rock
all
star.
the girl ducks were like, fucking just you, Howard.
He was a rock star.
It was weird. That was creepy. It was such a bad movie.
Yeah, it's considered like one of the biggest flops ever. I think it's a George Lucas movie, but
yeah, it was bad.
I wanted to keep going on dark thoughts.
Yeah,
what other dark thoughts do you have?
Sometimes I do have an OCD thing that I do since I was little because of my horrific thoughts. That every once in a while, guys, we're really unfiltered. It's funny how I talk about stuff I'd never talk about ever with anybody. But like if I have a bad thought about, say, my mom or my dad or my brother, and by bad thought, I mean like something happens to them.
I think they're going to die.
Yeah. I have to go like this. And I'm sure since we've been together 6 years, you've seen me do this and not know why.
Yeah.
But I'll go, I have to do this, babe. And I get it that we're on this audio only, so you guys aren't going to be able to see, but that's why I'm going to do it for Sean so he can explain what I do. So say I'm having the bad thought and I see my dad like not waking up from something, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a bad thought. I'll go like that. I close my eyes and I have to shake my head no. And if I don't do it, it will happen.
Yeah.
That's what happens in my head.
Yeah.
I have to tell myself, no, it's a bad thought. I don't say it out loud, but I shake my head and I close my eyes. Now, I have gotten so good at it where I might just be like to myself.
Yeah.
But it's really hard. Like I've never not done it after a bad thought.
Dark thoughts.
Dark thoughts.
That's the name of this segment is Dark Thoughts.
Sorry, dark thoughts.
Because I used to have dark thoughts when I was a kid too.
Yeah.
Where when I brushed, this was OCD of me, when I was brushing my teeth, I would have to gag myself 3 times or I wouldn't wake up before I go to bed.
Oh,
I brush my teeth, I'd have to gag myself 3 times because I wouldn't wake up.
Yeah.
Another fucking dark thought when I was a kid. That's crazy. And then,
do you want to know what one of mine is?
Sure.
When I have a dark thought about me too, because I have my thing. If I ever had a dark thought where I thought something was going bad or I was going to die or I was going to be in any of those things, I would have to, this is so weird, I would have to play a game and win before I could do anything.
Right. You still do that.
I still do it.
You still do that.
I know.
Babe.
I know.
All the time.
I know.
On your little slot machines
And sometimes Sean will be like, we have to go. And I'll go, I have to win. Like,
well, yeah,
because I fear for us.
I found that out one night in bed. And I was like, babe, please put your phone down. And then you're like, I can't. I was like, what are you talking about, babe? Let's go to sleep. Put the phone down. She's like, I have to save you.
Look, it's making me cry.
Yeah. You're like,
it's so stupid.
I have to save you. And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're playing a slot machine.
No, it's not a slot machine.
Crush.
Yeah, it's one of my other games.
You have to figure the puzzle out to save me? And you were like, yeah, if I don't, then... and then you wouldn't tell me what it was. I was like, what are you saying right now? What do you mean? And
because I had a dark thought about it.
And then you were telling me that I was going to die if you didn't win. And then I said, how fucking dare you kill me because you're not finishing your game?
Yeah.
We had this conversation in bed. How dare you kill me?
But can I just say, this is what I mean when I say I'm fucking weird and dark. And why Sean and I make fun of other people who say that they're weird and dark. Because this is real life for me. Like, Sean keeps saying I play slots. I play slots
to quiet the voices.
Well, yes, to quiet the voices. But the only time I have to win at slots will determine if I go do something or not, because I do have slight agoraphobia.
Yeah.
So for me to get out of the house, I'll play some slots, and in my head I go, if I can make $100,000 right now, I'm supposed to go. And if I don't, if I lose money, I can't go right now. And then 15 minutes later, I'll pick it up. And I do think in my head, I'm like, I'm saving myself from some accident or like a gunman coming in, right? Because I've been robbed by gunpoint. I've been pulled over by cops. I've had a gun to my head. I've been in accidents just like everybody, right?
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I think HP has got something to do, like is giving me messages that way. That's why I ask, which is not true. He's just got me all the time. But you know what I'm saying? So I put these weird things in place, obviously through my childhood of feeling traumas and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I've still carried them through. Now I've definitely done it less.
Yeah.
The more now I don't create chaos in my head.
Yeah, it's good.
You know, but every once in a while something will creep in.
Well, it's easy to go down that road.
Yeah.
There is a...
Did I win, by the way?
There is a fork.
And save you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still here, obviously, so...
Right, so it worked. That's what I'm saying. It worked.
There is that fork in the road where you can choose to go down the insanity. Some people, I guess, just can't not. There was, that H.H. Holmes serial killer guy.
Yeah.
I think like one of the first opening lines in the book is he says like he had...
What is it? The White City? The
Devil in the White City.
Devil in the White City.
His need to kill was like the poets to write a poem or the musicians to write a song.
Wow.
That's
deep.
That's what he compared it to.
Yeah.
He's like, I had to
It's
kill.
his symphony.
So some people can't not go down that crazy road and act out on those dark thoughts. I also used to have dark thoughts of ones that I love getting in horrific car crashes, and then I would like imagine their faces and stuff like grinding on the asphalt and stuff like that. It would always be like in wet, rainy weather. So
that's every movie.
So I feel like your face being scraped on a wet road is just somehow worse, but because the smell of it, and I always imagine the smell of the wet asphalt, and then there's just a face grindage, and I imagine my face being ground up on a asphalt too.
Yeah. You know what I realized too in this moment, this epiphany of listening to you? Two things. A, they've programmed us, right? All these movies, television shows, that's where we get our dark thoughts, especially as children. Otherwise, where would we come up with these things? So that's awful to hear.
I don't know about that.
You don't think you've seen... I've seen so many movies where car accidents happen when it's raining and like we see the results.
I 100% believe in programming. You know that. But then again, I think about how crazy and brutal things were back in the day. Before movies, before newspapers.
Like as a child that you saw?
I mean, no. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. You had to get those pictures in your brain. No,
I'm talking about like in the fucking caveman days. Like children saw their dads fucking
eaten
smashing
by a bear.
Fighting a bear, smashing another caveman's face in to protect them. So it's like... My point is that we have these thoughts ingrained in us
through reincarnation.
It's survival. Mm-hmm. It's what is that? The lizard brain or the reptilian brain?
Yeah, it's the oobla.
Yeah, where you just you act out and you smash something's face in.
Yeah,
because it's a threat to you, I guess. And then there's serial killers that just do it just to do it. But that's my. Because I can't think of a movie that I saw when I was a kid.
Oh, I can picture like three. When you were saying that, I picture like Crash, that movie.
Yeah,
where they're
with the fetishes.
No, where they're in an accident and when it's raining in a car accident.
I don't
Crash.
remember that.
I'm pretty sure it was Crash.
There was a movie called Crash. That's I'm sure
It's with Michael Pena.
Okay, that's a different one.
Oh,
I'm thinking of the one with I think it's James Spader where people get in car crashes and then fuck in the crash site. They get off on crashing cars.
Oh my God,
and being
that's
injured.
Weird. Yeah.
It's really weird. It's a fetish, and I'm sure we'll get to it at some point. We should watch that movie.
Yeah, we should.
It's a weird-ass movie.
So, really quick, because I said there were two things that I realized, the epiphany while you were talking. The second thing was, I used to have a problem with being on time anywhere.
Yeah.
And now everyone in my life will know why. It is because before I can leave, I would have to win certain things before I felt like I could leave the house.
Right.
So if I wasn't winning or I wasn't, playing the game in my head of whatever I was doing, I would have to wait until I did.
Huh.
And then I would go. And I would be late, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes.
Oh, I used to be late. I hate being late now, but God, when I used to be late all the time.
It's such a deal. Like, people who are late don't think about the message that being late actually sends. Now, in my case, and I'm not giving it any credit to even though I'm going to tell you why, mine came from this OCD, which I've since been rid of. I mean, I haven't done it, I don't know, in a really long time, 6 years maybe. But that came from a place where it wasn't about mismanaging time. It wasn't about hurting anybody. It wasn't about my disrespect for anyone's time and energy, any of that. It was really getting my mind straight to walk out the door. Right. But a lot of times people are late because of the total disregard of the other person.
It's just, and it maybe not on purpose.
Right.
It's just disregard for the other person.
Right. And I think that if people could be aware of the ripple effect being late has on others, including yourself, that perhaps there's a way that if you are late all the time, that you start being aware. Because I will say this, I'm so much happier now that I'm on time all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, somebody just described me as that, and it melted my heart because I was like, fuck yeah.
You're welcome.
No,
baby.
It was at work.
No. But you said the past 6 years, you've gotten rid of that OCD and you're on time now. And
I would say 5 years.
And we've been together for about 5-6 years, so you're welcome.
It's not 5-6 years. There's this. Wasn't it just it's going to be 6 years in August?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're welcome. That's all I'm saying.
No, nothing to do with you. Sorry. We took these pills again. Yeah. And these pills make us burp.
We're healthy now.
Yeah, we're healthier now. We have crazy indigestion burps, but they're definitely helping us.
Garlic burps.
Yeah.
But those dark thoughts, I don't place it to a car crash scene in a movie. It's just, but I know what you're saying.
Where you see the beads of rain down the windows and you look in the car.
For me, it's more just the smell of asphalt and people that I love dying.
Yeah.
That's just where my head goes, and it has gone since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Trying to place why or where it comes from or why the hell I am the way that I am. I think I was just born this way. With this,
me too. And that's probably why we found each other.
With this dark ass brain.
I remember when I was in my
right now, I'm imagining you.
I was just talking.
I know. I'm staring off and I'm imagining you.
Well, let me ask you: do you remember ever telling somebody and they looking at you like you're nuts and that you have these
about these thoughts?
Yeah,
I never really told anybody about these thoughts.
I told one person other than us now, and then us being like, me too, and it being amazing.
I think I've told friends maybe in relationships, and I don't think it was really like a big deal or anything like that.
I mean, I told one and it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And they just thought I was like fucking nuts. And I was like, all right.
My parents put me in therapy at a really young age. I want to say I was like 10 or 11 when I went to my first therapist. So maybe I said, there's a good portion of my childhood that I don't remember, but maybe I said something to them that made, them put me in therapy.
I too, we have this in common. I remember nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. And it's very difficult for me to even find the first memory of something. Like I have just slight pictures that will come up, but I have no context. I have no anything. Have no idea what I look like, who was around. I mean, I don't think about it ever. And maybe that's a good thing. I
went to this is a whole big story, but I'm just going to tell a little part of it. I went to a medium once, as you know, after my mom passed away, and she was a pretty intense medium, and she worked for the New York police with the NYPD. They hired her to help them with cases, but there was one point during the session I mean, this lady knew shit, like, and I went in there skeptical, but she knew stuff. And there was one point where she was seeing my childhood, and then, like, she kept saying, "Ow, ow," and I was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" And she said, she's like, "Please don't do that anymore." And then she says, "There's like a 7 or 8 year old boy that keeps pinching me whenever I'm about to see what happened to you when you were this certain age." So whenever, like, it would start to come to clarity and she was going to tell me what the fuck happened to me, I was there protecting myself from it.
Aww.
So I would pinch her. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there in this room with this, woman. Ow! Ow! Because I kept pinching her.
Oh.
How fucking crazy is that? And she never got to see
he's
and never
protecting you, maybe. Because why
want to know? Because
know?
that could set me back, or
That's what I'm
fuck
saying.
me up, or some shit.
I often, like, sometimes I'm sad that I don't remember any of my childhood, but then I'm like, it's probably God's protection or my protection, because why would I not know anything?
Yeah.
And then what if I know, and then it fucking just rocks my entire world?
Yeah.
That's
what it is, and we're protecting ourselves from it. I guess that's the defense.
I guess I'm curious though, like, on my deathbed, I might want to know. Like,
I want to know. Like, I don't think, especially maybe at that, it happened for a reason, because at that time, like, a lot of shit happened in my life, and I wasn't where I am today. I think I'd be able to handle whatever it is today, but I probably couldn't have handled it back then. I probably would have killed myself with drugs and alcohol had I found out about whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I have faith that that happened for a reason.
Yeah, I probably would have a much different path if I remembered what happened as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you have these tools now on how to cope with such things. Oh,
well,
man.
And we know it has nothing to do with us. We're
Right.
children. It's not.
Exactly.
It's not our bird and the bear.
At a great point in our lives where we don't blame ourselves or beat ourselves up anymore, which is very freeing.
It is. And mine's a new free. Like, I think you've been pretty good lately. Like, for years, I think you've been dialed in.
It's been a work in progress, but for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm taking a little longer, but I've definitely, like I said, over COVID.
You're doing great, baby.
Yeah.
And you're welcome for that. So
nothing to do. It is mine. It's mine to have.
Let's get away. There's a fork in the road. There's dark thoughts, or there's chuck it or fuck it.
Chuck it or fuck it. My favorite.
Chuck it or fuck it. Chuck it or fuck it. Chuck it or fuck it. Review time. Chuck it or fuck it. Chuck it or fuck it. Chuck it or fuck it. Review time. Me like it.
Or don't like it.
What a banger that song is.
It's like it's a banger and you want to bang during it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to bang, bang, bang. So, Chuck It. Welcome to Chuck It or a Couple of Nuts. Chuck It or Fuck It, everybody. It's basically our review segment of our podcast.
Yeah. And today we're going to review something that Sean's already seen, and I was a virgin.
She was a virgin.
Just like Bella.
Yo. So, what do you think it is? It's the Twilight
Saga.
We just fucking sat down for 2.5 days.
Yeah.
And watched all 5 Twilight movies. Now, I've seen all the Twilight movies and I've read all the books.
Oh, okay. I did not read any of it. I never saw it. I never got into it.
I was a Twihard.
Yeah.
Still am a Twihard.
You know what? I think I told you this, but the reason I didn't is because I saw, like, in one of the trailers, the sparkles, and I was like, that's the weakest shit I've ever seen.
That's one of those parts. That's one of the things in it. But it's a teeny film anyways.
Well, and I'm not a teen. I don't like those. Like, I don't like
horror,
boy bands.
For us horror fans, sparkly vampires is fucking lame.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. It's part of it is. That's just what it made, Edward's beautiful when he sparkles, and there's no denying that.
But that's not what I want to see in my vampire. I want to see my vampire in the sun fucking burn
and die
to ashes, scream from just pain and riling wildly in agony. Instead, you see him sparkle like a RuPaul drag queen, and it's interesting. But how do you want to talk about it this time? Do you want to talk like...
We want to talk about each individual one or just the whole saga? I don't know.
what?
To be honest,
I feel like, I mean, my instinct, my gut tells me to talk about it as a whole.
Yeah.
But then little chunks of what we liked in each one.
Well, yeah. Each movie, horribly reviewed on IMDb, usually in the 4-point area.
Yeah.
I don't agree with those
I don't
reviews.
know. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, they're
Excuse me.
Rob Pattinson's a great actor. The majority of the actors in the movies are good.
Yeah.
And the story is cute and it's fun and it's werewolves and vampires. You can't go wrong. They had different directors for each one that added a different flair to each one. The first one's considered an independent film.
Oh.
Because I don't think...
They thought it would make that much money?
I don't know, but I don't think Summit Entertainment, which released it, was like under a company or something like that.
Now it's big.
Oh my God, those movies, the franchise made fucking billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And all those actors in it are set for life. They don't have to act ever again. And
a lot of them didn't because they
they attempted
they didn't have to. Right, they might have attempted to.
There's a couple breakout stars, but I mean, yeah, I guess as a whole, I mean, and then we'll talk about like you just said. So, since it was your first time taking a ride on the Twilight Saga train, how did you feel about it?
Well, first of all, I'm glad I didn't think about what I thought before. Yeah. I remember like people were like, we're going to go see Twilight. And do you read the book? Like, I'm just like, no. So I already had some kind of feeling about it where I was like, this is not going to be something I enjoy. But I decided when you pitched it, you were like, you need to see the Twilight. We need to chuck it or fuck it. I was like, all right, I'm going to go in 0 expectation.
Yeah.
And see if it could even just hold my interest.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, there's a lot of times where men don't have shirts on.
Yeah.
That's a really nice...
That helps.
...part to it. It's like watching Aquaman where you're like, there's no...
Or like watching me.
Okay. And then, so anyways, that part is great. I like it. I love vampires. I love everything about vampires. I love werewolves. I like anything of the supernatural kind. So I knew that had me as well.
Yeah.
But I did know that there was a spin on certain things, aka
Sparkles.
Yeah. That I wasn't going to like. Now, there was a lot more stuff I had no idea was going on in the universe. In other words, I didn't know some vampires had a special power.
Right.
I loved that. I loved that werewolves and like the slayers of vampires were werewolves.
Yeah.
In this,
and they could talk to each other.
And they could talk to each other.
Their minds.
So I did like that. I loved.
There's like the Volturi, the Vatican of the vampires. Volturi. Yeah.
Who is my friend Michael
Sheen. Yeah.
Who I loved. I saw it. I was like, oh my God, Michael's in this.
A lot of people were probably like, what is this amazing actor doing in these movies?
I memean, both times. Like he's got 2 really big scenes, and both times Sean and I were like, "Oh!" Like because he would do these epic things,
smiles.
The one part where he makes a like when she shows him. I mean, like you can't get more brilliant than that. Dope. He's fucking amazing. Anyways, those types of moments though are what made it for me.
Yeah,
I loved the Alice character. I think she was fantastic.
Adorable. Yep.
I love the whole vampire squad and Bella's dad. I thought was fantastic.
Just likable characters, right?
Not only likable characters, but really stereotypical likable characters.
Of course.
In that like teeny bop world, and I thought that the effects were better than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
And I did have a problem with the wolves constantly changing size perspective. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Like sometimes they were way bigger.
At first.
I love
huge.
that.
Yeah, they should have stayed that way.
Yeah, and then
a couple things with the wolves when they transformed and all their clothes ripped off.
And then they'd come back with clothes.
Put the clothes back on.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
Didn't make much sense.
No. One of my favorite scenes, though, is when Jacob is taking off his clothes in front of Charlie.
Yeah, right.
And I just kept being like, what an awkward moment.
Yeah.
And the fact that Charlie just kept... I like that when he got to his pants and they were unzipped, Charlie actually was like, all right, let me see what's going to go on.
Let's see how big he is.
And that face he makes before he turned into a werewolf, just checking out his junk. I was like, oh, cool. He's hanging like a werewolf. So yeah, and so much more story that I loved, and I don't know how she wrote this. I would love to ask the author if she.
They're pretty big. They're pretty thick books. Like, and they made the movies. They could have been a lot longer than they were.
Were the movies just like the books?
They were close to the books.
Okay.
There was some different, obviously, but pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the reason I ask is I do love, which is very rare, the last movie. I think the first and the last were my favorite.
I think those are the two best ones.
Yeah. And it is because of how she threaded everything together that we learned the whole time.
Yeah.
And she kind of set these little breadcrumbs up in all these other, I'd say, books or movies that give you a really nice payoff at the end.
Yeah.
You know, and I liked that. And I was like, bitch, did you have that all written out?
Yeah.
And then you just did each book? Or was this like you like Saw, where you wrote the first one, it becomes this epic deal, and you're like, I have to fucking write more of this.
Yeah,
and it was just this.
She did.
I would love to know, just because it felt so perfectly wrapped up.
Yeah.
And she really did address, as a writer, like I watch all that shit, and you know I get angry at things when they have holes or don't make sense. Such as the clothes, like as a director, the clothes blowing up, and then he comes back and he's fully clothed in the same outfit.
I don't think she really touched on that. Was whoever did the movies.
Oh no, I know that.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Those are like those little things that bother me. And as the writing aspect, I thought was fantastic, especially to have 5 movies and they all kind of just work together so well. In fact, part 1 and part 2, where it takes off just right where the ending of the other one was. I love that. I did not like, and I thought it was beyond creepy.
Yeah. There was some creepy vibes.
Yeah, the imprinting of Jacob on the baby daughter.
Well, there is a couple pedo moments, even with Edward and Bella. You know, although Edward is in a 18-year-old's body, he's technically 100 and something years old, and he's dating a legit 17-year-old.
Yeah, and if you remember, it was the first comment I made while we were watching it. It was
one of the first comments I made when we were watching it. Yeah,
I did. Yes.
Yeah, I said that. I was like, that's fucking creepy,
I
right?
said that, you dickhole. I said it, and you know
That's what I just said.
And then I also... Oh, sorry, my neighbor was walking out. I also didn't like how they kind of messed with the face of the baby and the little girl.
Oh, man, they did the CGI where they put like a 20-year-old face on the little girl's face.
And the baby, like...
And the way her and Jacob would look at each other, it was fucking weird.
And that
was weird.
And you know what's funny is while I was watching it at first, before I had the thought, and this is before Robert Pattinson's character says how old he is, I just know my vampire history, that I liked that she was a virgin.
Yeah.
And I liked that she turned 18. And I liked that they were going to get married. I thought, what a wonderful message to send to a teeny bopper movie.
Even though when she is a virgin, but when they boned for the first time, it didn't appear that she was a virgin.
No, that's why it was weird.
Normally it hurts when you put it in for the first time.
Especially a vampire push.
Right.
Like that's going to have some oomph.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly he was even like, I can't. Yeah, he broke the bed. Imagine what her vag looks like.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. They were showing a couple bruises. It's like, let's see the real hole that matters.
Yeah.
Because there could be some ground beef down there at this point.
But how awful is Kristen Stewart in those movies, huh?
Wow. Another remark I made during the movie is when the 5th movie, my favorite, I'd say, is when she was dead. I thought was her best acting.
Yeah, Bethany was like, this is the best she's ever done. Come to realize it wasn't even her. It was a fucking
doll.
Dummy that looked like her because she's so skinny and like, you know, she's dead. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, sorry. I'm assuming everybody's seen the Twilight. If you're going to watch Twilight, you've seen it.
She dies to be a vampire, so I think they all knew that anyways, right? Isn't that part of it? So.
But that was her best acting.
Her best acting, hands down.
Was the doll of her.
And luckily, she has so many scenes with Robert because he's fantastic immediately. Like, I don't know if that was his first thing or what. But, I mean, I'd seen him in many things after. I think he's going to be one of those brilliant.
He already is.
I mean, he already is, of course. But I'm saying longevity. He's going to be another Jack Nicholson, Al Pacino, one of those, Leo.
Until the Batman comes
and you
out.
could see it in the movie is my point.
Yeah.
There's little things. Look, I got chills. Because one of my favorite lines of his that he delivered, and nobody makes me laugh. Like at the end, I'll go, "Oh, that was funny," but nothing will make me laugh out loud except for like real life shit.
Yeah.
And really, that's it. But I'll acknowledge if something inside made my dark side, move a little bit. And he had one line in the 5 again.
Yeah.
Part 2, where Bella's beating up Jacob
because he imprinted on her, and she's like fucking flipping out.
Imprinted on the daughter.
On the daughter.
And Bella's beating the shit out of him, and obviously the vampire. What's his name? Edward. Edward doesn't like Jacob too much because he's infringing on their relationship. But she's beating the shit out of Jacob, and it cuts to Edward, and Edward goes, "Isn't she amazing?"
Yeah, because they were like, "Edward, stop her."
Yeah. And just his delivery on that, I was like,
yeah,
he can do comedy even.
Yeah,
and I would love to get my hands on him in some.
He
hasn't, honey. So if for whatever reason, look at my chills.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is HP.
Yeah.
Anyone listening, if you know Rob Patts, and he's never ventured that way, I know that he would be spectacular. I'm writing something right now, honey. The thing that I'm writing.
Oh yeah, he would be interesting in that.
Fucking epic.
Because he's handsome, so it'd be kind of like.
But we could make him a little unhandsome.
Well, he does that now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but yes, because he's in stuff like he does. He'll deliver funny lines, and even though we're not even going to discuss Tenet because we got about 35 minutes into Tenet.
And it's so sad because I'll watch anything he does.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't.
And we'll probably have to watch it again because.
And it's less about Robert and more about the writing.
But I'm sure he delivers some great one-liners, and he's really good at that. And like heavy, action-packed, dramatic scenes, he's great at delivering one, and he's funny. So yeah, to see him in a pure kind of comedy dramedy would be.
It'd be dramedy. But
it'd be really good to watch.
The fact that he annihilated that one line, Robert, if you're listening.
He had a few of those in the movies.
He did, but that one to me stood out so hard because the tone of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, you also have to match a tone of the movie if you're going to do a comedy, no matter what comedy it is. And tonally nailed everything about it. I was just like, I can put him in my writing.
Yeah.
And he'll annihilate like no one else.
He was really...
Like a Liam Neeson with Ricky Gervais in that.
Yeah, that's fucking...
What is that?
Life's Too Short.
Life's Too Short.
Yeah.
I mean, when Liam's talking about wanting to do improv, it's brilliant. And it's because of Liam's... He's so grounded. He's like a fucking boulder. He's a boulder on the ground. Anyways. I get so excited.
So back to how bad
Twilight.
Kristen Stewart was. She was awful. She made, when I first saw them in like 2008 or 7, whenever they started, I didn't see the first one in the theater, but I did see all of them after that in the theater.
Yeah, I was living in my car. That's probably why I didn't watch any of these.
I saw New Moon on in the theater. And
at that point.
She, at that time, didn't confuse me, but watching it again this second time, what a confusing signals she gives. I don't know what she's feeling ever in the movie.
I think because you had just read the books.
Yeah, the books were great. So, you know exactly what's going on in the books.
And so did everyone else who watched it at that time. So they're going in knowing everything that's happening.
Yeah.
So you didn't need her cues and her face. Now, I didn't read the books. I was going in like a fucking... my vag was so tiny and tight from being a virgin of it, not knowing anything, like a pencil would hurt.
Wow.
That I needed their information because remember, sometimes I'd be like, I don't understand. Does she not like him? Does she like I genuinely had no idea her feelings.
So I read the books after the first movie came out. Mm-hmm. So I did have them in my mind when reading the books.
Makes sense.
But I hadn't seen the movies. And I hadn't seen Kristen Stewart in anything that I remembered her in. So she was doing what I was thinking she was supposed to be doing in the books because the way it's described is great. Yeah. And it's pretty simple what they're doing.
Yeah.
But then seeing it, I didn't think too much about it because I was just enthralled with the colors of the film, and it was just fun.
And it's all the stuff we love.
Exactly. But then watching it again, she is very confusing. I don't understand what she's getting across. She never seems happy.
Never happy.
She's got this
even during her wedding, never happy.
Not happy.
When she saw the baby for the first time, never
not happy.
When she met Edward, not happy.
Not happy.
In the cafeteria, do you remember me asking? So opening scene in the cafeteria of Robert's
when she first sees him. Yeah.
Now it's wonderfully teeny bopper done, where things are in slow motion and we're feeling the angst, and it's like, ooh, the cool squad's coming, all this kind of stuff. And she looks at Edward, and I told Sean, I'm like, does she not like him at first? Like, what? I don't understand. I thought they fall in love immediately.
Right.
And it's like, absolutely. He's like, yeah, no, they're immediately in love. And I was like, oh, okay, well, Kristen Stewart is definitely not giving me that flavor. Like, so every cue, and then she's always saying no when she's talking.
Right.
She could be
shaking
talking
her
about
head no all the time.
Yeah. She could be talking about the like highest quality of success in this teeny bopper's life. Like, I made valedictorian and I'm fucking the man of my dreams and he's imprinted on me.
Right.
And she's saying, while she's saying it, she's like,
shaking
no,
her
no,
head,
no,
no,
no, with her little pout face.
Oh man.
Yeah. And zero from the eyes. That's what's so weird.
Oh.
Like, her face, I don't think in the beginning was touched in any way. Like, in other words, she wasn't like Botoxed or anything.
Right.
So like everything should move on her face. Nothing moved.
Yeah.
Like that'd be a choice. Like, I'm not going to move my eyebrow in any way. But then she does all the mouth stuff.
Yeah.
The sad mouth stuff.
And everybody,
I don't know.
I think majority of people really loved it because she came off in real life as an awkward person. So like, oh, that's just her in real life being Bella.
It was her. It was her just being her, but she's boring.
Very boring.
Yeah.
And then, the fact that her and Rob Pat were dating, it was just like, oh, this is so
adorable.
cute. And then again, she ruined that by cheating on him.
Yeah. So, ugh.
So Kristen Stewart's the worst part of the Twilight franchise.
For sure. And I saw the guy from Shameless in there.
Oh, it's a lot of people.
Who else did I see? I'm going to now forget about everyone. But I mean, there's so many amazing people who acted really well in that.
Twilight Saga.
Yeah. I loved all of it.
So
honestly.
what would you rate it?
I don't think I would need to watch it again.
No, not for like at least another decade or something like that.
But I'll tell you this. Had I seen each movie with a year in between, I would have hated it.
Oh, sure.
Hated it.
So close together. Yeah.
But the fact that we were able to watch it.
Yeah. I mean, so far apart, you'd have to wait to see. Yeah.
It is. I don't know how to explain it, but because we were able to back to back.
Yeah.
And then we got to 5.
Yeah.
Because see, 5 to me redeemed all that middle shit. It was like the bookends. Like,
yeah.
Okay, that first one had me enough because you were even like, do you even want to go any farther? Remember after 1, I was like, yeah, no, I'm into it. I can see this. And then if you remember 2, 3, and 4, I was always doing other stuff.
Well, 2 is whatever because Edward leaves for a little bit. So
that was like fucking whatever. And that hair on Jacob, I couldn't.
Yeah.
It was so fake. And her hair, everyone was wearing wigs and it looked awful.
A lot of wigs.
And that bothered me. But anyways, like I was kind of I was still paying attention so I could do a good chuck it or fuck it. But on 5, when heads were fucking ripping off,
heads off,
and things were on fire and fucking.
I did there was some good violence in that 3rd one because the 30 Days a Night guy directed that one. So it looked cool and there was some good violence in it.
Yeah, I did like that one.
But again, didn't get great reviews.
No, you know why? Because it struggled on story.
Yeah, it did.
But it did look great, and I liked the fighting scenes. But I did feel like the fighting scenes came out of nowhere just to do a 30 Days to Night look.
Yeah,
like they were like, "Ooh, remember that?" Which, by the way, 30 Days to Night is like one of my top.
Up Night.
Whatever. I'm bad with details, but that movie, I probably watched already 5 times.
I'd watch it.
One of the best.
I'd go and watch it right now after this episode.
Yeah, done. One of the best depictions of fucking vampires.
It's a good one.
I've ever seen.
One of the best. But we're not talking about that. We can do that another time. So if you were how do you rate the Twilight Saga in its entirety from a scale of 1.0 to 10?
By the way, let me just add this one more point before I do it. Do you remember during 5 me calling out what really happened? Remember me saying they were going to make it seem like we're seeing something.
Right. Yeah.
I got it.
You nailed it, baby.
I did. I nailed it.
You got the character wrong. You thought it was that other Amazonian.
I thought it was the Amazonian one who was going to do it, but it was Annie.
But it was Alice.
Alice, yeah.
Imagine if Alice would have been Bella.
So good.
She would have been great.
I love her little face.
Cute, right?
And she's so good with her eyes.
If I were to chuck and fuck Alice, I'd fuck her.
I know you would.
Yeah.
But
you would too.
Oh yeah, totally. Especially with that little pixie cut.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. Okay, honey, I'm right here. Jesus Christ.
You kind of look like her. You kind of look like her a little bit.
I told you I used to have that hair.
Don't even go in. Let's talk. Oh, you're talking about fucking Jacob Edwards' bodies. I let
Edward's
you talk
body,
about,
by the way, is exactly your body.
I know it is, right?
He doesn't work out at all.
They painted the abs on him.
Yeah. Like it was bad. Like you're
and
like,
he was hairy on his back.
Oh,
I don't have a
man.
hairy back though.
No, you don't.
But Edward had very
there
hairy arms.
was one scene
and he had
in
a
the
hairy
second
back.
movie where or the third movie in the honeymoon, right? Or did they shave it there?
Oh, the honeymoon's the fourth.
I don't know. First yes, because it was
they shaved it on the last couple.
Yeah, but in the beginning, I was like, "Is that his back?" And then we were both like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
Edward's fucking hairy," because he could have played the werewolf.
It's a British thing, maybe.
Yeah, whatever. And then they got rid of it. You don't even notice. It was just funny to me though that Edward didn't have to care about his looks.
No,
like,
oh my god, he was the hottest thing.
I know, but I mean body wise, like
no, that doesn't matter.
he was
like
just flimsy and
his face and his hair, that big hair. He just was like a
heartthrobs,
a pop star, a teen pop star,
Yeah.
teen heartthrob.
Yeah, and then that accent, forget about it.
I had a quick little story about Rob Pattinson. A buddy of mine was working an event for Coachella where he had rented a house for an after party for somebody. So he was hired to put together a party for somebody, some fucking a rich person. They rented a house, a lot of celebrities there. Rob Pattinson's there, and he's completely wasted. And there's this girl there.
What year is this?
It's Coachella, probably like 20.
Like what saga are we on?
Or something like that.
What?
Twilight's done.
Done. Okay, got
Twilight's
it. Got
done. It's a few years
3 years
after
later.
Twilight. Kristen cheated on him. They're broken up. It's probably 2015 to 2016, maybe something like that. And apparently, so my buddy is there, just making sure everything's going smooth. And there's this girl there that's just stalking Rob Pattinson. She's just a random fan who got into the party because she was some hot chick, but she was following him everywhere. And the guy running the place that hired my buddy said, "Hey, keep an eye on my bud Rob because this chick is following him around." So
why didn't they just kick her out of the party?
I have
at that
no
point?
idea.
Jeez Louise.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But they didn't. And my buddy lost sight of him for a little bit, just a couple minutes. And he's completely wasted, apparently, and maybe on something. I don't know. Definitely wasted. But he tracks Rob down, and he can't find the girl or Rob. And one of the rooms in the house, Rob somehow wandered into, and he goes in there, and Rob's like passed out, and this chick is just going down on him. Like he's completely out, Rob. He has no idea that this girl is doing this to him. She's just sucking on him.
Wow.
And my bud had to fucking pull the chick, and then they kicked her out.
Good.
They kicked her out.
How did they handle his pants and his dick?
Rob, I don't even know if Rob remembers that this happened.
That's good.
Because he was so out of it.
He's gonna now because, of course, Rob listened.
Yeah, Rob's a big fan. What's up, Rob? Good. I hope all is well.
I mean, we can't love him anymore.
But yeah, so he didn't.
Basically, if the Akon was at the party, both of us, we'd be going down on Robert Pattinson.
That's us going down on a passed out Rob Pattinson.
We love it. Lighthouse was great.
Okay, babe. That's enough. But anyways, that's just a little story about it. And I think, if I recall correctly, my bud was like, he didn't even know, man. Like, we helped him get up, pull his pants up. We called the car for him to get him back to his hotel room. And we kicked that girl out. And
she's probably went to his hotel room.
She probably was, yeah.
Yeah. You just
crazy
set it
though,
up.
huh? Stalker chick. But she got it.
Yeah.
She got what she was there for.
Kind of.
Sort of.
She probably wanted to collect that semen.
Oh, yeah.
She was just inserting that shit in her vag.
So, rating the Twilight Saga, what do you, as a whole, what do you give it?
As a whole, I would say, and I'm going by pure enjoyment, I would say 7.5.
7.5.
7.5.
Wow.
Yes, and by the way, 1 and 5 would have got a higher rating, but the 2, 3, 4 kind of brought it down a bit.
That's
because,
high.
Yeah, I know. But I remember when I was doing stuff and I was like, babe, pause it because I'm gonna go Or I had to go do something. And you're like, you want me to pause it? And I was like, yes. And you were surprised.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And I was like, no, I want to know what happens.
Yeah.
So that part.
Yeah. Agreed.
Check.
Agreed. Yeah. Like we just tried watching that Fear Street and we won't even give that the time of day because we couldn't even get through it all. But everybody's raving about it. Doesn't make any sense.
Why are they're raving about it because they're pushing it so hard. Because not a horror. Horrible. Well, not scary.
Good horror gore.
The gore, yes. But it's so few and far between that it cannot handle.
I didn't even want to give it that much energy. I was just saying.
Attention. Yeah.
Like my point is that you wanted to sit through all 5 of these where there are other franchises where we're just like, oh God, no.
Yeah.
We can't even do it. So now I'm going to rate it.
Okay. I'm a difficult one to wrangle, guys. So the fact that he's saying that, just know, like, if you haven't seen it, watch it.
And the fact that you're giving it a 7.5, it's even higher than I'm going to give it. And I fucking love it. I love it. No, I love it. I love it.
But I want everyone to know the gravity of the bookends.
Yeah.
Because if we were to take those bookends away, it'd be about a 5.5.
Right. I'm going to give it a 6.9.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is really high. Mm-hmm. Which is obviously a fuck it. I would fuck the Twilight Saga.
Almost all of it. Yeah.
I already have multiple times.
Yeah.
I've read the books.
Mm-hmm.
And I even told you there's another book that she wrote from Edward's perspective when he's gone from that one episode, the one movie.
Second one.
He is not even there. There's a book about where he was from his point of view. So
I have a reaction on my stomach. Look.
I see that. So, yeah, absolutely. 6.9 Twilight Saga. I fucking love the Twilight Saga. I love Edward and Bella. Reminds me of us.
It does. It did.
Reminds me of us.
I mean, and we sparkle without the sun even.
And so I'm going to go into a story after that, but that was chuck it or fuck it. Would you chuck or fuck it?
I would fuck the shit out of almost every character.
We would fuck the shit out of Twilight, and that's chuck it or fuck it.
Chuck it or fuck it. Chuck it or fuck it. Review time. Me like it.
Or don't like it.
So one of the main reasons why, we're done with chuck it or fuck it, obviously, but still in regards to Edward and Bella, the characters, it reminds me of us, is because he's always saving her and protecting her from herself. And I've mentioned before in this show that living with Bethany is like living with an infant at times. So I guess I gotta have that Jacob Renesmee thing with you too, where I've imprinted on an infant.
Yeah.
So yesterday, which you don't know what day it is, but I'm in here in our studio and I'm working on my music and I'm editing and because I produce and write and I'm a one-man band and just all around genius. But I'm working on my own music and I have my headphones on and it's noise canceling headphones, so I can't hear anything. But apparently Bethany, she comes, I'm in there and I see her out of the corner of my eye come running in. She's like, babe, or I hear, so I take the headphones off, babe. And I'm like, what's up, babe? She's like, I was stuck in there. I was stuck in the back. I got my hand stuck in the drawer in the bathroom. Apparently, she couldn't open one of her little makeup drawers because she has little boxes in there and she had to stick her hand in. And then her hand got stuck.
I got my hand stuck. It was terrifying. I could not get it out. I thought I would have to break things to get it out, a.k.a. my thumb, some sort of one of my bones.
So she's in there apparently yelling,
I was yelling for, I was like, babe, I'm stuck. Babe.
She was stuck.
Babe, I can't get my hand out. And he was not coming to me. And I had to literally talk myself down and calm myself down because I could not get my hand out.
I'm really glad you did though, babe.
If you guys don't know anything about me, know this. When I feel trapped, forget about it.
If there's traffic, if the freeway gets closed down or something, she fucking freaks out.
I lose my mind. And I felt like my left hand was trapped and calling out for my hero who was not coming for me.
Sorry, I was busy working on hits.
Oh,
baby.
man.
But I mean, it's cute and sad at the same time. Like the thought of her being stuck in her own bathroom just in one of the little drawers is adorable, but really sad at the same time.
Oh, babe, it's not
Sorry,
sad.
I wasn't there to save you, baby.
Yeah, well, I did it myself.
You did. I'm very proud of you.
Got out of it.
I think it's a really good note to end on.
Hand intact.
How I want to end this one on how proud of you I am.
I do have a bruise on my one bone.
I am so proud of you for getting out of that predicament, babe.
Thanks. I wish I had a vampiric power.
Yeah.
But I am Bella clumsy.
Very Bella clumsy, and that's just, and how in love with her he is like me with you, and it's just, we're basically Bella and Edward, but more talented.
More talented.
All right, everybody, there it is. Don't forget to follow us, Acon Podcast on Instagram.
Review us, share us, like us, subscribe. Get in there.
Yeah, we have some stickers if you want. Post a picture of yourself watching us, a screenshot on your social media, and tag us.
Like with your headphones on, with the podcast showing.
And we'd be happy to give you a sticker, and we'll DM you and get all your info.
And tell us your favorite part. Like, what part are we listening to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's it. And then we'll keep slaying for you and sucking bloods.
Yes, we will. So stay nutty, everybody.
Bye for now.
Kimpses. Bethany.
Bethany.
And Sean.
And Sean.